What's up, guys? I'm here today with Will Eubanks. Will is from EA Appraisals. He's the appraisal management company that we're using. And I just met him yesterday. We went to the Marlins game. How do you like being in Miami?
It was awesome. We had a blast at the Marlins game. Great turnout, great crowd from this South Florida PRMG area. We were in the big Auto Nation Alley Deck Suite. Food, it was awesome.
Yeah, you got them to let Charlie pitch.
Yeah, Charlie threw out the first pitch, Charlie Suarez, and it was just threw a perfect strike. We had like 80, 90 people there cheering him on. It was phenomenal.
The event was great. We had a great time. Obviously, there was some great food. Actually, I'd never been to that little part of it, so it was a different vibe, man. It was good, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's so fun.
I want you to take advantage and kind of ask you some questions. Like, how are the orders? How are you seeing like the market in reference to from the appraisal side? Is it like have the orders slowed down or anything like that?
So, it was a rough end of last year and kind of beginning of this year for a lot of us in our industry, but it's starting to pick up. We're seeing some activity. So I think it's a good thing that the spring's here and into the summer. I think we're going to see the market continue to improve some and get a little busier.
Yes. I believe so too. I've taken now in the last basically 12 days, it's been about 25 new applications.
Let's go.
They're not all approved, but 25 new applications. I can see the uptake. It went up a lot. I want to just kind of just ask you a few more questions because maybe sneak in a couple of tricky questions. So I discussed this with my agents. I discussed it with my clients, especially when they're the ones selling the houses. They're saying like, oh, maybe not paying sellers commissions or not giving seller concessions. And I tell them, look, it's a little bit difficult to determine how much you're going to net without taking into account what the people around you pay. So can you talk a little bit about how an appraiser looks at what's like in a neighborhood, what the appraised value is, if it has concessions, if it has like those type of things?
Absolutely. So the way we look at seller concessions is the effect that it has in that market. So kind of what would it have sold for without the concessions? So in a time period or a market location where seller concessions are common, and maybe it's a certain percentage or whatever the common area would be, we don't adjust for that. So it won't hurt you or help you in terms of the appraisal to have those concessions on there if it's a standard protocol in that
customary
area.
in the area.
That's right.
Now the reason I ask is because I did have a deal where it was customary for the concessions to be given in the area, and the seller wasn't giving the concessions to a particular client, and the value did get adjusted for it. Is that normal?
It does happen. Again, it depends on what's customary.
Yeah.
So if there's an area where it doesn't appear to be a lot of seller concessions and the seller concessions would have an effect on the sales price, then they'll adjust for it. But where it seems to be customary and reasonable, you'll typically not have adjustments on them.
I had a deal a couple years back where I told you I had two identical townhouses, twins, buying the two townhouses, and the first person gave a seller credit. The second person didn't, and he got mad because he didn't get the value they did. And I got a nice little detailed report who gave me the average seller concessions in the area and why they had to adjust sales and lower. He wasn't happy with it, but it showed me that you have to know your market. I think that's why you work with like really good agents that know the market, do the comps, and take into account this is what the average market is given. This is why your value's at this moment, and this is how you're going to net. If you lower it, if you give it, if you don't, your net will be this amount. And kind of have a good number there.
That's right.
Well, first of all, I want to appreciate you taking your time. I know I've seen you running around super busy, shaking hands, kissing babies, man. I just really appriciate taking your time to be here, man.
You bet. I appreciate it, Willie. We both have the same name.
He's like my twin. He's like, look, I got the little thing. I don't know.
I love it, man.
My twin from Texas.
That's right. Appreciate you having me on, Will. Last night was awesome, and let's have a big year, y'all.
Yes, sir.